Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marcia Gordon. I'm President and CEO of the Business Council of Westchester. And today we are about to learn how Westchester plays. And most important, we're going to discuss how the recreational and entertainment values in Westchester County contribute to the economic environment of the county. And they contribute a lot, as you will find out. It's my pleasure to introduce the presenting sponsor of this series, The State of Westchester's Economy, which has been presented by PCSB Bank. And it's my pleasure to introduce Dominic Petramal, Executive Vice President, Chief Retail Officer of PCSB, to say a few words. Dominic?
Thank you, Marcia. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining today's State of Westchester's Economy Speaker Series. We all know how great Westchester is for business, but today's event takes a different spin and highlights how great Westchester is for fun. We are fortunate to have 5 great speakers with us today who will discuss some of the many options for entertainment in Westchester. Whether walking on the shore, wandering through history, spending a day at an amusement park, hitting the casino or track, enjoying the dozens of great restaurants and food events, or catching a movie and dinner, Westchester has it all. It does not matter your age or interests, as there are activities for everyone. Similar to Westchester, PCSB Bank is a commercial bank that is community-oriented and offers all the products and services to meet all of your business and consumer needs. Our team of commercial bankers are always available to discuss your lending, deposit, and overall banking needs. Special thanks to Marcia and her team for putting this event together and all that they do for Westchester County. Marcia, you make it look easy, and your team, and we all know it is not easy. So thank you, everyone, and I'll hand it back to Marcia.
Thank you, Dominic. And you at PCSB Bank and the team there make the relationships that are so important. We've all learned over the past years how important the relationships that businesses have with their banks, and especially their community banks, is so important to the continuation of business. And I just want to say that the team at PCSB Bank does it so well, and you have saved and helped so many businesses throughout this challenging time. So thank you so much for your leadership and for everything that the bank contributes to the community. It's sincerely appreciated. We also want to thank our supporting sponsors, Westchester County Office of Economic Development, led by Bridget Gibbons. And Westchester County Office of Economic Development continues their focus on workforce development with training programs to help workers obtain well-paying, in-demand careers in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, and looking to offer training for careers in clean energy. To learn more about everything that the county does to attract and retain businesses and create jobs in Westchester County, go to westchestercatalyst.com/work. And we also want to thank our other supporting sponsor, Empire City Casino by MGM Resorts, represented today by Taryn Duffy. We're going to hear so much about MGM and Empire City, but let's just say we have known them for 16 years and more, and they were acquired by MGM Resorts in January 2019. They have been the 6th largest casino floor in the country, the largest casino floor in the global MGM Resorts portfolio. And we're going to learn more about what's coming up in the future, but welcome to MGM Resorts. And Taryn Duffy, thank you for your support and leadership also in so much that the county does. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. When it comes to having fun, we all know that Westchester County is the place to be. Whether it's the hugely popular historic Hudson Valley Great Jack-o'-lantern Blaze in Croton, the iconic Playland in Rye, the MGM Empire City Casino in Yonkers, the highly successful Westchester Magazine Wine and Food Festival in Valhalla, and many more locations this year, or the Look Cinemas in Dobbs Ferry, which has the best food to sit and enjoy watching movies in a reclined setting. Their hummus plate is to die for. It's delicious. Westchester knows how to play, how to feed, and entertain. The entertainment business plays a significant role in enhancing our county's quality of life, which makes us an attractive environment to do business. It also attracts tourists from throughout the region, which is a boost to Westchester's economy with job creation and money spent on local businesses such as hotels and restaurants. As an example of how the entertainment business sector affects the county's economy, again, let's consider MGM Empire City Casino. A full gaming license, which the Business Council of Westchester strongly supports, will add thousands, and Taryn will let us know, of employees, plus thousands of indirect and induced positions because of the resulting economic activity. For today's program, we will look at how Westchester plays from the perspective of a panel of business leaders from important sectors of the entertainment sector. It's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished panel of experts. First of all, Elizabeth Bracken Thompson, festival organizer, Westchester Magazine's Wine and Food Festival. Now in its 12th year, the Westchester Magazine Wine and Food Festival returns this June 6th to June 10th. Mark your calendars, June 6th to June 10th, with a week's worth of extraordinary culinary experiences to satisfy any palate. This amazing event features more than 100 top local restaurants and more than 400 world-class wines, beer, and spirits that feature everything from a burgers to beer and fine dining wine pairing dinners to food truck experiences throughout Westchester, from north to the south, and from central Westchester to Yonkers on the Hudson. Get ready. I'm calling Hollywood on the Hudson these days, right, Liz? Get ready to dive into the deliciousness of the largest wine and food festival in the Hudson Valley. Liz Bracken Thompson is a partner at the firm Thompson & Bender. She founded the event with the late, great Ralph Martinelli, publisher of Westchester and Hudson Valley Magazine, and continues to coordinate this gigantic week-long event. Welcome, Liz. Jeff Davis is the general manager of Playlands. Playlands has been a Westchester County figure since it first welcomed guests in 1928. Wow. Beginning as the first planned amusement park in the country, this historic property is located on Long Island Sound, featuring 1.5 miles of beachfront, boardwalk, pool, fishing pier, lake activities, and a nature sanctuary. Playlands is owned by Westchester County and managed under a 30-year agreement with Standard Amusements. Westchester County and Standard Amusements are partnering in a multi-year revitalization of the park. It's really incredible. Can't wait to hear about it. And surrounding area to include renovations to restore the Art Deco style of the buildings, infrastructure improvements, one-of-a-kind rides, enhanced landscaping, and elevated guest amenities. As the park nears its 100th anniversary, Playlands is setting up to become the premier entertainment destination in the nation. Welcome, Jeff. Taryn Duffy is Vice President, Public Affairs for the Northeast Group of Empire City Casino by MGM Resorts and MGM Springfield. Empire City Casino, as I said, has been in operation for 16 years, was acquired by MGM Resorts in January 2019. It boasts the 6th largest casino floor in the country, the largest casino floor in the global MGM Resorts portfolio. Its current gaming license permits only video lottery terminals, VLTs, and electronic table games, but it will soon be competing to secure one of 3 available commercial casino licenses that will allow Vegas-style slot machines, live dealer table games, sports betting, and so much more. And as we said, this has been a top priority of the Business Council of Westchester for several years. Welcome, Taryn. Brian Schultz is CEO and founder of Look Dine-In Cinemas. They are a luxury dine-in cinema chain that prioritizes the principles of conscious capitalism and extreme hospitality. With a commitment to bring communities together through shared stories, Brian has built Look Cinemas into a successful and future-forward entertainment company. I can tell you personally, they are much more than just a movie theater, though I love them as just a movie theater. People are going there to have experiences, evening and afternoon children experiences that really adds to family fun and pleasure for everybody. And again, contributes to the economy. So thank you, Brian. Finally, Waddell Stillman is the president of Historic Hudson Valley. They are a 72-year-old cultural organization founded by the Rockefellers that preserves historic places in the county and opens them to the public. They welcome visitors at Washington Irving's Sunnyside, Kykuit, the Rockefeller Estate, Union Church's stained glass by Matisse and Chagall in Pacansco Hills. If you haven't been, you're one of the people in Westchester that don't know about that, you must go. Phillipsburg Manor, which is a historic site of slavery in the colonial period, and Van Cortlandt Manor, which is home of the great jack-o'-lantern blaze. Waddell Stillman has run Historic Hudson Valley for more than 30 years of growth and change, as well as working to keep the historic sites the same. He has a staff of 45 full-timers and swells to greater than 200 during the Halloween season. That's what economic development and job creation is about. Thank you, Waddell. So to all of our speakers, our panelists, thank you so much. And let's get going. So Liz, I'm going to start with you. You're the festival organizer for the Westchester Magazine Wine and Food Festival. Tell us about the festival and the schedule of events and how many people participate. Liz, you're on mute. Liz, you're on mute. Liz, you're on mute.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
That's the most often said phrase, I think, in the last 3 years. You're on mute. I'm sorry.
It's unbelievable.
But thank you, Marcia. And I'm so privileged to be on this panel with today's distinguished guests. I am also super excited because this is about fun in Westchester to talk about the 12th annual Wine and Food Festival here in Westchester County. And as you mentioned, Marcia, it runs from June 6th to June 10th. And we are literally all over Westchester during those 6 days. We're kicking off our event this year on Tuesday, June 6th at Crabtree's Kittle House in Chappaqua. And we're doing an amazing wine pairing dinner there. And anyone who knows Crabtree's Kittle House knows that it's noted for its extensive wine cellar. And we have world-renowned wine expert Kevin Zraly, who will be at this event with John Crabtree, who owns the Crabtree's Kittle House, with a very exclusive special dining experience with paired wines with each course. And then on Wednesday, June 7th, we go to Playland, Jeff Davis's home, and we are going to be having our 3rd annual party on the pier at Playland. And it has been such a successful event because, as you can imagine, we're right there on the beautiful Sound in beautiful Rye, New York, overlooking the water on the really famous pier. And this year we'll be entertaining with 44 restaurants, live music, 40 different wines and spirit vendors. We have 8 food trucks. We're going to have the annual bartender shake-off, where 5 bartenders get together and compete for the title of the best bartender in Westchester County, with big trophies and prizes for them. And they take it really seriously, let me tell you. And we will have an incredible group of judges judging those bartenders. And we urge everyone to come taste the different drinks they have and have a great time. And I might mention that this event runs from 6 to 9 p.m. All these events, you have to be 21 years or older because obviously alcohol is being served there. There are no children events here. But for this event, we're almost already sold out at Playland. And then on Thursday, June 8th, we go to Kensico Dam Plaza in Valhalla for our iconic burger and beer blast, again from 6 to 9:30, where we have 40 top burger restaurants competing for the best burger in Westchester. And live band, incredible band. We have 45 different wines and spirit vendors who'll be pouring wines and spirits and beer, of course, because it is a burger and beer festival with food trucks. And it's just a ton of fun. And on Friday night, we're going to X2O in Yonkers. And despite what you may have read erroneously or heard, X2O is open. Their doors are open for business every single day, with the esteemed Peter Kelly as chef there, who has been part of this festival for the last 12 years. And we'll be holding a wine collector's dinner. And we will be honoring an iconic food purveyor, Mr. Stu Leonard, who has done so much, not just as a food and wine presenter with his fabulous store in Yonkers and wine store, but also has been an incredibly altruistic individual, creating the Stewie the Duck swimming school, and we'll be raising funds that night to go to that fine organization that teaches children how to swim. And that dinner is going to be the top tier and the most expensive part of the weekend. And on Saturday, we go back to Kensico Dam Plaza in Valhalla.
Wow, we're
4
going to be
p.m.
very busy that week eating.
Oh yeah, and at that event, we have 200 wines and spirits, a VIP wine connoisseurs tent, and live chef demos with some of the top chefs from Westchester County. So I urge everyone to go to westchestermagazine.com/food, get all your information, because we will sell out as we do every year. And we usually get 5,000 to 6,000 people over the course of those days.
And Liz, just to give this some perspective, because I remember the very early days when you and Ralph started this, can you share some statistics about the event over the last 12 years? Because what we're really trying to do is to show how this event and everyone here has contributed to the economic growth of the county.
Absolutely. And, you know, the numbers are really staggering. When we started this, it was a 2-day festival. We had it at the then Ritz-Carlton, now Opus in White Plains, and we just had it from noon to 5. And it was, we had obviously restaurants come in, sample food, and we had some wines at different tables. And that was just 2 days. And now, as you can see, it's grown to 6 days. And we've had over 1,215 restaurant and food trucks that have participated. We have close to 1,750 different wines that have been poured. We have nearly 500,000 burgers that have been cooked and served at our burger and beer blast events. And this number really blows my mind. 7,600 bottles of wine have been served at our Grand Tasting Village alone, with over 50,000 glasses of wine being poured at the Grand Tasting event. So, I mean, the numbers are staggering. And from an economic development perspective, you know, food is a very driving force, and restaurants here in Westchester County. And of course, this is about featuring all of our top restaurants here. It gives these restaurants a chance for people to sample their food and get to know new customers.
Love it. Love it. And thank you to you and the team at Westchester Magazine, who continues this incredible festival that brings people from all over, right?
Yep.
All over
The tri-state area.
Jeff Davis, as the new general manager of Playland, welcome to Westchester. Why do you think investments in recreation areas such as Playland make such a difference in the community?
Well, thank you, Marcia, and you know, this shows you the power of coordinating these different events and working with Westchester Magazine and being able to be a host for an event and partnering. Just the benefit to the community and just the events in general. But you know, I've been the beneficiary of being in the amusement business since I was 16, so it's over 35 years, or seasons, as we say in the amusement business. So I've seen firsthand the benefit of recreation and also providing these kind of opportunities for families and folks to spend together. Lots of stresses out there, so you know, it's a respite. It's a way for people to connect. And Playlands is no different. And I think if anyone doubted the power of outdoor environments, and recreation, then the pandemic kind of sealed that, right? Because everybody was out and about and doing things together and finding ways to just, be outdoors. So, I'm, as I mentioned to you, Marcia, I'm new to the county. But not new to amusement parks, and certainly not new to old amusement parks, having worked at Dorney Park and Lake Compounds, both over 100 years old. So, I kind of got a young park in Playland, only in its 95th season here. But what is so unique and what really drew me to the opportunity to be the general manager at Playland is it's not just the amusement park, it's that entire campus. And you mentioned some of the things that are on that campus. So there are certainly things like the amusement park, which are a fee, but then it's very important that park and that area remains community-based as well, so that the boardwalk is open to folks to get exercise, to reach nature, the nature center, to sit on a bench and watch the sound. There's sailboats floods that were sailing by the other day, and it's just, grabs your attention. So, so in the partnership between us and the county, there's certainly a ton of construction going on, revitalization, but what we see is kind of growing this campus, I'll call it, to encompass much more activity over the next 5-10 years, let's say. And that includes, activities, again, that will be just open to the public, whether it's, pickleball or some other type of event that we do. We're looking for those opportunities to grow the season, because right now we're about 90 days, 92 operating days is what the amusement park is. The beach and pool, which will reopen this summer, this Memorial Day weekend, has a little bit shorter season, right? Because it's traditionally Memorial Day to Labor Day. So what we're looking for is opportunities to stretch that season to, again, give people in the community more to do in our area, but also to draw visitors to Westchester. Whether it's from New York or whether it's from Connecticut or people visiting those areas, we want to be that premier destination that people say, hey, when you're in that area, you've got to go to Westchester and you got to go to Playland and you got to see what they're doing there.
It's great.
Yeah, so it's not only things that you're going to see. We want to make sure there's surprises there too when you come on site.
How delightful! How delightful. Well, and some people may be surprised by the job creation you do at Playland. So in addition to many full-time jobs, there are a large number of seasonal job opportunities available at Playland. How do these types of jobs benefit the community and the people who get those jobs?
Yeah, so our employment model is a little different, right? Because like I said, we're open 92 days a year. So that doesn't beget full-time job, but a ton, about 1,000 people for that time period over the summer season. And due to the seasonal nature of the job, it attracts high school, college students. We do have some seniors that work with us and teachers for the summer. But for the most part, it's going to be high school and college age students. And, that's a job development in the sense that they're, learning how to work, right? And then we're teaching them how to work and giving them those first jobs and giving them those paychecks that they're going to go spend and learn how to spend. We're teaching leadership skills. So we think of ourselves kind of as an incubator of developing talent, and some of that talent we hope to keep as we grow in full-time job. If not, then we hope that we contribute to the fact that we're developing these folks for whatever job they go into, and the skill sets that they learn working with the public easily can be translated in pretty much any job you're going to do.
Jeff, that's so important what you are contributing, and I know you're training these young people mostly for careers in the future, and they will take those lessons that they learn at Playland and take them with them throughout their career. So thank you so much. And one of the places they may go, right, is to Empire City Casino by MGM Resorts. Taryn Duffy, Vice President, Public Affairs for Northeast Group. As one of the largest gaming floors in the country, how does Empire City Casino benefit the region economically?
Well, first of all, I'm sitting here, ready to text Jeffrey and say we should talk because, yeah, I think that's a great idea. And that Playland could be a feeder for Empire City Casino. That's awesome. Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for hosting this. Thank you for having us. Empire City is proud to be in Westchester in the great city of Yonkers, less than 2 miles away from the Bronx border. And we too have been part of the fabric of this community for so long. Yonkers Raceway started operations in 1899, so we're celebrating 124 years this year, which is incredible. We race year-round, more race dates than any other track in the country, which is fun. And Empire City has been operating for 16 years, as you noted. So, I don't think it'll be a surprise for anybody to know that we take fun and entertainment very seriously here. And obviously so does the BCW, because you understand that, fun is big business in Westchester. So the economic impacts are pretty significant. I think the primary drivers from Empire City Casino's perspective are obviously going to be taxes. We pay an effective 70% tax rate, the bulk of which goes to education funding. And we have this singular entity has generated over $4 billion in the past 16 years.
Listen to that, everybody. Let's repeat that. $4 billion in the past 16 years.
It's pretty incredible.
Much of it to education. That's great.
Well, the over $4 billion is strictly to education, much more, hundreds of millions more for local governments and other things. And that's really important, right? We know what the impact has for residents there. Certainly careers, jobs. We have an incredible team here, most of which comes from our immediate vicinity in these communities. Our philanthropy, our corporate social responsibility is a critical component of the MGM Resorts brand. We very much support the nonprofit communities, our pillars, our food insecurity, workforce development, and public education. And then, procurement, obviously, we spend more than $30 million a year on services and products just within 20 miles of our property. And visitation, right? We bring in more folks than the Statue of Liberty, and we know that supports all the businesses around us.
That's incredible. And also career development. Many variables impact the ability of families and young adults to live in Westchester. And as we work to combat resident flight, we need to ensure we're providing good paying jobs for residents with varying levels of skills and professions. Can you talk about the workforce at Empire City and what career opportunities are available within the company?
Yeah, I mean, this is critical, right? I mean, as Jeffrey said, right, job development, developing people at every level is really a critical component. And I think MGM Resorts has received so many recognitions and honors as being a particularly special employer and well-regarded employer. And what I think was most critical, obviously, having gone from, I've been at this property for 12 years. It was a family-owned property. MGM, as you said, acquired us in January of 2019. And when they acquired us, we had a $45 million annual payroll. I mean, that's an extraordinary number. And now, because MGM chose to really double the wages of majority of our team members when they realized that some of them were working, they were working multiple jobs. Our payroll now is almost $100 million a year.
$100 million a year.
And the average comp package, Marcia, is about $110,000. So these are family sustaining wages. And I always say that regardless of what letters are associated with your education level, it could be a GED, it could be an MBA. There is a career for you here in this industry. And it's so fun to see people develop from starting positions into leadership positions. And we have so many examples of that here. And there's a real breadth of professions here. Obviously, people see the team members that take care of our customers and provide excellent experiences for them during each of their visits. But there's so many more who are behind the scenes in the operations. We're a heavily regulated industry. So everything from legal and compliance and HR and marketing, finance, food and beverage, so many more opportunities. And I think too, what makes MGM particularly special, in my opinion, is the reinvestment in employees. So, doubling wages for most employees was pretty significant. We know that, but also too, $1 million renovation for an incredible employee dining room and lounge was one of the first things they did when they got here. They provide nearly free college degrees for employees, scholarships for kids, extensive training and leadership programs. So there's really a lot here for people that allows people to stay here and really just invest in the communities, buy homes in the communities. And we're proud to be able to be part of that.
Well, and I can tell you, I've seen that with your team that works there. I've seen them move up. I've seen how much they value working there. I've been part of some of the fabulous leadership training. I've been very pleased and proud to be part of some of that leadership training that MGM provides, especially for women. And you're a great company, Taryn, and you're a great leader. So
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Brian Schultz, CEO and founder of Look, Dine in Cinemas. You're the baby in this group, Brian. Look, Dine.
Go ahead.
So, Brian, what will get customers off their couch and their TVs or phones? And how did the idea for a dine-in cinema, which, by the way, let's say where it is. It's right off the Sawmill Parkway in Dobbs Ferry. It's wonderful. How did it come apart? And what sets Look Cinemas apart from other movie theater chains?
Well, thank you, Marcia. We're just coming up on 1 year, so I did want to give a couple quick stats real quick. And, over the 31 years that I've done dine-in theaters, I would say that the Business Council and Marcia in particular were the most helpful of any city we've done in the nation. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I thought I'd throw a couple stats out there because the movies really are back, and it's been a tough 3 years for both on distribution, the prevalence of streaming and some other things. But the Dobbs Ferry location, 272,000 guests, 392
in 1 year.
Not quite 1 year, almost 1 year,
Wow.
just a little bit less. 392 events, 9,000 nonprofit guests that came for free, and 120 employees that we brought through. So not big numbers like Taryn, but anyway, we'll do our little part as we get.
Very significant. And go ahead.
I was going to say, and as we talk about the movie theater business, it's been presumed dead over the last 100 years multiple times, and movies are just back. And we kept on saying, content was king. And just in Las Vegas at our big conference, we got to see 20 of the top movies coming up. And I have to tell you, they've held some of the best for this coming summer and through the end of the year. Incredible films that hit all the different quadrants and all the different age groups. And we couldn't be more excited. And the way that Look is differentiating herself is really through hospitality. Through these last 3 years, companies can, choose different ways to handle it. Some people like to retrench and cut. We decided to really invest and get behind our team and provide the kind of hospitality and amenities that the guests are looking for, because it has to be an experience looking forward when it comes to entertainment. We can no longer just rely on just being there and opening our doors. We actually have to create the right experience. So whether that's laser projection, comfortable recliners, fresh made to order, high quality food, or just a smiling face that is service oriented, that wants to take care of you, all those pieces just become so critical. And I think in Westchester in particular, our openness to really serve the community and put on film and events that the community wanted has been embraced in a just really beautiful way, not in short, thanks to the Business Council and others. So,
well, thank you, Brian. As you know, I'm a very, 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 very amateur film aficionado. And I can tell you that I so much completely enjoy being at Look Cinemas. And I love also your approach to conscious capitalism and how this philosophy has impacted the company's growth and success. And I know there's so much to talk about here, but can you just give us a little peek into what conscious capitalism means?
Yeah, in its most basic form, for those that haven't had much exposure to conscious capitalism, it's somewhat similar to triple bottom line or stakeholder model-based decision-making. So in its most basic form, whenever we make a decision whatsoever, we think about our team first, and then we think about our guests, our community, our vendor partners, and our investors. And if it's not good for all stakeholders, we either adjust the decision or we don't make it. So that's kind of the practical framework. And anyone who's interested in that, Marcia, I'd be happy to connect with the Conscious Capitalism chapter of New York that's really, really popular, or myself, because it's one of the things that I'm the most proud of.
Well, it's fascinating, and I see everyone's ears here perking up because it's very, very important. And thank you for your national leadership on this issue. Waddell Stillman, Historic Hudson Valley. What is your mission with the historic sites, and what are you doing to keep them relevant moving forward?
Marcia, thank you for that great question, which I'm excited to answer. But I also want to say how thrilling it is to be in this panel and hear the plans and events and feel the energy for entertainment in Westchester County. It's a great place to be and to do business. And I may be the nonprofit participant here on the panel. It's also a great place to experience the generosity of people in Westchester. We started with historic sites 72 years ago, and thank you for naming them earlier. Our mission really was and is to preserve those places, unique history of our region that gives character to the communities where the historic sites are. And we not only preserve them for today and for future generations, but we also, of course, open them for public enjoyment. And Mother's Day is a big opening day for us. The weather has turned positive, and like Jeff at Playland, our season can feel short, and so we count on Mother Nature to be our marketing partner when the sun is shining and the season is here. We use those historic sites as learning places as well for schools in the community. Those historic sites are busy with yellow school buses, and they're coming back post-pandemic for very, very hands-on programs that students enjoy, that are part of their curriculum. So our museum educators dovetailing with their teachers, and then on the weekends, we love to see visitors. Almost everybody visits our website first, hudsonvalley.org, and learns about what's open and buys a ticket and comes on over. So that's what we're doing with the sites, and we're keeping them relevant to today's audiences and issues by focusing on women's history, and as you mentioned earlier, Marcia, slavery in the colonial North, which is such a relevant topic because the legacy of that history is racism, which is our most difficult problem today. And so we like to shed light on where did that all come from, and how can we understand it better, and through understanding, how can we address it today?
Well, thank you, Adele. And and I think as a nonprofit organization, I've personally, and we've all seen how Historic Hudson Valley has evolved over the years. How do you view your role in tourism and economic development?
We're really all in for the positive economic impact of tourism. It's a green industry, and we really love to be a partner, Marcia, with you and BCW, with the County Office of Tourism and Natasha Caputo, and we love to stimulate the as Taryn was saying, we love to stimulate taxation, the hotel and hospitality tax that funds tourism creates a positive economic spiral for business in the area. And although we are not for profit and we're driving toward a mission-oriented goal rather than a bottom line, we are thrilled to be a contributor to traffic in restaurants and hospitality facilities. And I'm convinced that every one of the panelists represents an organization that provides visitors to us, and I hope that we in turn provide visitors to them, because I think that it's a web of attractions in the county for residents of the county and visitors and guests to the county.
And Wendell, I have to say, when we called you last October, when we had the concept of launching a Headless Horseman campaign, as the Headless Horseman being the ultimate headhunter in Westchester to attract talent, to meet the needs of businesses for whom talent is the biggest issue. You were all in, and we got such great, you helped us launch that as a partner. And Brian, thank you for Look Cinema. When I'm there, I love seeing it up on the screen. And I know we're going to work with the Wine and Food Festival and others. So thank you all so much for being partners to the business community. Also, I want to come back to really focusing on the economic impact and growth. And so, Liz, with the Wine and Food Festival, what is the economic impact that the festival is providing?
Well, that's a great question, Marcia, and it is truly huge. And by last count, there are 1,500 fully operational restaurants in Westchester County, and we like to spotlight just Westchester County restaurants in our festival and celebrate them. And when you think about the 1,500 restaurants and all the personnel and all the jobs that are created, and when you also factor in the devastating impact of COVID and how that impacted our restaurants, I think from an economic viewpoint, this festival brought them all back, made them relevant again. I should say we postponed one festival in June, but we moved it to September during the year of COVID. So these restaurants wanted people to know they were open, wanted to open up their shops and get people to come back to work. And as Waddell mentioned, from a tourism point of view, we know food and wine are an economic driver, a tremendous economic driver. And there's so many new restaurants that continue to open, including ones like Red Horse by David Burke, the outstanding chef that just opened.
So exciting.
But I also think that from our demographics and looking at how people travel here for the 5 days that they want to participate in the event, they stay in our hotels. They travel here from the entire New York tri-state area. They're spending money in department stores. And we even have a promotion with the MTA so that we can bring people up from the city on trains. And it's really impacted tremendously, I think, our economy here in Westchester from a jobs perspective, as well as from restaurants themselves benefiting from this, and tourism.
Thank you. And Jeff, at Playland, what is the economic impact and where do you see the growth of Playland for the future?
Well, there's no doubt that we feel that as we develop the park and add seasons like Halloween and the holiday season and springtime events and develop the boardwalk, the other side of where the Children's Museum is with shops and restaurants, that property should be doing easily over 1 million people a year in visitation. And that includes, the amusement park and then the surrounding area. We think that drives, obviously, not only visits to our park, but when people look at our website and see where we are, then they also look what else is in the area. And I think we'll be good partners in that as well. So I think that, and then it'll continue to add jobs to the area, and then visitation to the other properties in Westchester, hotels and other restaurants in the area as well. So we really see the tripling of the kind of the current attendance at the park over the next easily 3 to 5 years. We have a couple years of construction to get through between us and the county's work.
Well, and construction is jobs also, right? That creates jobs too.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say too. Not only the people we're hiring, but we hire a lot of subcontractors and vendors that do sign work and janitorial work and security. So I mean, yeah, there's a whole host of activity that happens because of the work going on there.
That's great. That's great. And Taryn, I know attracting visitors to Westchester is so important to our regional economy. So at Empire City, where do these visitors come from and how does that impact our economy here in Westchester?
Sure. So we're a regional casino, obviously, right? Today, most people live within an hour of drive from a casino. And I always say all bridges and roads lead to Empire City. So our guests primarily visit us from a 50-mile radius. And we focus on providing easily accessible entertainment. And that includes racing and gaming, but it also includes dining, live music, and more. And hopefully in the near future, it'll include much more. So we know that, you know, it's not just our direct impact on the economy from our own operations that really supports the county and the region, but also we saw during our closure during COVID, we were closed for 6 months. It was the longest in the country of any casinos in New York. And we really saw that then, what the impact was on the area businesses. It took a real toll on the area businesses, particularly our service and product providers, and even the restaurants in the area. And so, you know, so much of New Yorkers' entertainment spend is really going to area states in Pennsylvania and New Jersey and Connecticut. And we work really hard to try to repatriate those gaming dollars and entertainment dollars because those support jobs. So that's a real part of what we have to do more of. And I think we're perfectly positioned to do that. And of course, the future is incredibly bright. We're really excited to see if the opportunity to really reach our full potential comes to us, if we can get that full gaming license, be able to deliver first-in-class experience that customers associate with MGM resorts. And certainly that will be, you know, 2,000 direct hires for us, another $1 billion in economic activity for the region. And
$1 billion.
yeah, and that activity, that economic
2,000
activity,
direct hires. That's
right?
Huge.
But what I think is most fun is that it's going to support the creation of another 10,000 plus indirect and induced hires. So it's really going to spur so much growth in the area, and we're super excited about that opportunity.
So exciting, so exciting. We got to get this. We got to get this casino license.
We're working on it.
We're all working on it together. Brian, Look Cinemas, you've taken so many steps to ensure that your food and beverage offerings meet high quality standards. How does this contribute to the overall movie-going experience and to the economy at large?
Yeah, well, the overall movie-going experience, I don't particularly think that it has to be a dine-in experience. That's just my preference and kind of life work for 31 years. So I like to eat, drink. I like to try all kinds of different foods. And then we also like to source locally, which is pretty cool, whether it's local chefs, local vendors.
Right.
We actually really enjoy doing that. I think the next step for us is opening up our Mirabella's lounge, which will be the restaurant component. So we're coming up on our first year. So it's time to get that piece going. Although it's been popular for all kinds of events, that'll be our next level of economic development.
Exciting. So Liz, listen to that for next year. You'll have another restaurant to feature. And Waddell, let's focus a little bit on the Blaze, which is kind of, you know, the one we love all your venues, but the Blaze is very special. How long have you been doing it? How many people visit, and what's the economic impact of that? And what is it for people that may not have been?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's an immersive experience. You walk through a prescribed path of about a quarter mile long through this beautiful historic site. Although it's dark, it's at night, and on both sides of you, and sometimes even overhead, there are hand-carved jack-o'-lanterns that are organized into different exhibits. We say there are 7,000, but I'm quite sure that the whisper number is over 9,000 these days. And it's an event we've been doing, I was going to say for 19 years, but I'm going to borrow Jeff's locution and say it's for 19 seasons we've been doing it. And we're very, we're all geared up toward Halloween. It opens mid-September and stays open for the first couple of days after daylight savings time changes in November, and it has for many seasons now sold out. So it's getting to be a hotter and hotter ticket. We have about 150,000 visitors these days. We were a little above that pre-pandemic, but since COVID, people have told us through our audience research that they like a little bit more room around them, a little more breathing room. So we are open as many nights as we can be, and we love to send our Blaze visitors to local restaurants. They're mostly from the tri-state, but there are some people who come and stay overnight in the area to visit Blaze. And we just like to spread the joy and the entertainment value, but there's always a little learning. There are some history facts, no quiz at the end, but there's a lot of local lore, legend, myth, and history included in the Blaze experience.
And just having all those people come to Westchester, and I know that they come from the far areas of the region because, you know, I'm Facebook friends with many people from all over, and they're all posting on the Blaze. It's incredible. So
It's a
I know
very
you are
photogenic. Yeah.
It is very, very photogenic. It's very photogenic. So, so I also want to invite anyone in the audience, if you have any questions. I know there's a comment from our Metro North representative. It's great to hear about all the positive economic entertainment impacts that you all have on Westchester County. I know Metro North has been a great partner to so many, and Andy, thank you for your offer to work even more closely with the entertainment venues to drive the economy and culturally and socially. So thank you so much. I'm going to be on Metro North later today, so you are a valuable lifeline to our region. So thank you so much. So finally, looking at the bigger and more entertainment trends coming on, if you could have a crystal ball or you can have a wand to make something happen, even outside of your own venues, what is the big entertainment idea that you all see for the future for Westchester County? Liz, I'm going to kick it off with you.
Well, I think that magic is part of this panel, actually, in Taryn Duffy, because if that gaming license is approved for the full gaming license of MGM Empire City Casinos, I mean, we're looking not just at expanded, gambling opportunities, but more restaurants. And I know, Taryn, you mentioned there's all kinds of plans for hotels and for concert venues, and that will only drive more and more people to Westchester County and to the third largest city in the state of New York. So I see that as a game changer for Westchester County, and we're all hoping that our New York State legislators will see that vision as well for you, Taryn.
Thank you, Liz. Jeff, any big ideas? I'm going to let you all just kind of pipe in here.
Yeah, so we're excited about the future of technology and merging that with kind of the entertainment space. Still making sure that people are getting physical and out, but things like augmented reality and just different ways to entertain. So we really think there's some way to meld that into the experience at Playland.
Love that. I love that. I'm getting very excited here. Anyone else? Big ideas?
I will just jump in and say that most people don't probably realize that MGM Resorts is the third largest ticket seller to live performances, and they absolutely create tours for entertainers. So I think my beautiful vision would be to be able to have right here in Westchester opportunities to see talent like Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga and Yonkers' own Aerosmith and some of the other, incredible entertainment that comes to MGM Resorts properties. Because we're a regional casino, I don't know that and we have such incredible hotels around us. I'm not sure that we need particularly a hotel right now. I won't give away our plans because our application is going to be, it's going to be robust, but it is also a very highly competitive process. We know that there's so much interest from so many people, but we also have the best partners in the world in our business community and our residents and our elected. So we're confident, but not overconfident, and we're ready to compete.
Anyone else? Waddell?
I just want to add, that I think one theme that I'm hearing from this webinar And Liz started it off with laying out everything that is happening with the Wine and Food Festival, but it also applies to what Taryn and Jeff and Brian are doing, is that visitors want immersive experiences, and that's what everyone on this panel at least is driving toward, it seems to me, is really following the dictum that nothing succeeds like excess, and surrounding our guests with more retail, with more dining, with more options, is just a key to what might be looking back at us from the crystal ball.
Great.
Maybe going out on a little bit of a limb here, but I've really gotten into social emotional learning, as a lot of the younger people had been isolated for so long, trying to get those social skills back. So we've been using storytelling and film as a way, in conjunction with social workers and teachers, to bring back social emotional learning, so that some of these basics that we take for granted can come together once again, going on this idea of immersive experience, where you can use your venue for a lot of different good things.
And of course, our county, and Yonkers in particular, has become Hollywood on the Hudson, with Lionsgate and Great Point Studios and others that are looking at Westchester and the incredible growth. So I think that there's an opportunity as entertainment and cultural leaders to tie into that growth, because that is incredible economic and community development that's happening in the county. And I think working together, we can all help. We can all blend that all together. Anyone want to see? I'll just put my dream up: a convention center that attracts business people and groups and conventions for business people, but people also bring their families, and they get to enjoy Westchester, enjoy what's here, enjoy also nearby New York, but that attracts people from all over. So I would love to see a convention center. But most of all, I've enjoyed seeing all of you and learning from all of you. And you clearly have shown that the state of the Westchester's economy is highly dependent on the entertainment factors and the great live and play factors, live, play, work factors that you all provide. Because the fact that you are all here, you are providing the amenities that so many people look for when they are choosing where to work, where to grow their business, and what's here, and what other opportunities are here as well. So on behalf of the Business Council of Westchester, which of course promotes economic development and advocates for positive growth, I want to thank you for the very unique opportunities that you bring to the area, and also for your partnership with each other to create a Westchester County that is so exciting and that thrives economically. I want to especially thank our presenting sponsor, PCSB Bank, and especially today, Dominic Petromal, Executive Vice President and Chief Retail Officer of that terrific community bank. I want to thank of course, our Westchester County Office of Economic Development, and Taryn Duffy. A special thank you to Empire City Casino by MGM Resorts as well. It is really a pleasure to continue with this State of the Economy series, and please look for our last in this series this year, presented by PCSB Bank, that focuses on healthcare later this month. So we wish everybody a wonderful day and have fun, lots to have fun with, and go enjoy our sites. Lots happening at Historic Hudson Valley. The sheep shearing this weekend, Waddell, I think. Great movies coming out. We can walk the boardwalk and Playland. We can get ready to food for the Food and Wine. And Taryn, we can always go and enjoy what's currently at Empire City Casino to enjoy. So have a great time, everybody, and thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you.